What's up, guys? So I missed a few days, like I said in my last video, so I thought today I might make up for that by making a couple videos. And I've been watching different MMA videos online. I'm watching Ariel Helwani. He's interviewing Forrest Griffin, and it's making me realize that there should be something discussed that I don't think really is discussed. The whole fighter pay thing with the UFC, you know how that's a big thing. The fighters are like, we're not getting paid enough. And Dana says things like, look, you guys, this isn't a career, it's an opportunity. And people are like, what the hell are you talking about? It's not a career, blah, blah, blah. I think Justin Gaethje was part of that conversation. Jorge Masvidal was part of that conversation. But I hate to say it, but Dana White is right on this. And I'll tell you why. Dana White, their contracts are like subcontractors, right? They're like freelance. So basically, yeah, they get insurance and stuff like that during the fight. I don't know if they get, I don't know the contracts inside and out. I have never looked at one, but I hear Dana White talking about it and I hear the fighters talking about it. So I'm speculating based off of what we've heard publicly. So it is speculation based on facts. So the whole idea of the UFC not being a career but an opportunity, you have to consider that, I mean, we're only familiar, we as fans, we're only familiar with maybe 20-25% of the fighters in the UFC. And that's if we're paying attention to every single fight night, the Contender Series. We're just like paying close attention. We're still only familiar with 25% of the fight roster, of the fighters fighting for the UFC. And not a lot of those fighters make it through, make it up the ranks even to like the top 15. So those fighters, they're making a little bit of money, but it's a temporary career. If they're looking at it as a career, it's temporary, because fighters have a timeline on how much fight they have in them. Sure, there's people that are more durable than others. And then there's also fighters that when they did well in their younger years, the younger fighters the UFC is able to use them to build younger fighters and upcoming fighters' names off of. Like Cowboy Cerrone. Cowboy Cerrone is an old veteran fighter that new fighters can build their names off of by beating him. He's past his prime. He's got a big name. If someone beats him, then now they have a name. So there is exceptions with people staying in longer than their timeline should serve. But let me tell you why Dana White says it's an opportunity and not a career. The UFC is a huge platform. You're getting lots of eyes on you if you're fighting at all for the UFC because it's being televised, right? Millions of people are getting to watch you. Now, if you're in the early prelims, I get it. Not as many people are watching you. But it's still not a career. Your career could be, fighting could be the main thing in your life right now, but it doesn't, once you hit like 38, 39, if all you did was fight in the UFC and you did nothing else, then your pay ends when your UFC contract ends and they don't re-sign you. So that's happening to a lot of fighters. And Forrest Griffin is on Ariel Helwani in front of me right now talking about how he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't have any other skills other than fighting, so he has to do it. Nick Diaz, I think, is in the same position too. He keeps saying things like, I don't want to fight, I have to fight. And he's not saying I have to because it's this strong desire to. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to be in there. He doesn't like fighting. He's doing it because he has to, because he's broke and he needs money. My advice to people who are in a career of fighting is to become aware that this is a short timeline that you have to get lots of eyes on you and do what Conor McGregor did. Open up other businesses, use your fame, use the eyes on you to build other businesses that will make you residual income for the rest of your life. Invest in things, start businesses, get sponsorships, start your own gym, things like that. I know some people that are making it work for them that don't even have a lot of fame. I have a buddy, his name is Alex the Great White Moreno. He actually beat Cowboy, and he fought Pettis, and he beat Max Griffin, or Griffith. I always get his last name wrong. But he started his own gym. He had his own gym when he went into the UFC, and he's used the money that he's making from the UFC to grow his gym, and he's using the eyes that are on him to get more clients, sponsorships, network in his community, things like that. He's doing it the right way. He's not becoming a millionaire, he's not becoming rich, but he's becoming comfortable and secure. So after his career in the UFC, his career is over in the UFC, he will still have means to make a living and make money. That's why Dana says this is an opportunity, it's not a career, because he's promoting you. He's putting eyes on you when you wouldn't have eyes on you if he wasn't doing that. So he pays his fighters decently. Some of them get into management that starts demanding more, and they're trying to milk as much money out of the UFC as they possibly can, but I don't think they're looking at it the right way, and I don't think they're looking at it realistically. That management is focusing on the wrong things. A good manager for a fighter would be focusing on building businesses and partnering with the fighter, using the eyes and using the money he's making to build an empire around him. It is what it is, and I hope that, my channel, I just started it a couple months ago. I only have 353 subscribers at this point right now. There's no way any fighters are going to probably see my channel at this point, but maybe if I grow the channel big enough, maybe someday I can bring it up again and some fighters can start watching my videos and hearing the things that I'm saying, because I'm a businessman and I know how these things work. So Dana he's a cutthroat businessman, and he does have an empathetic side. He does have a caring side, but his main priority is his business, so expect nothing less. And that's another thing. Fighters expect more, but they're not being realistic, because they got into the relationship with Dana being Dana, and then they expect Dana to not be Dana after Dana has built up their name and helped them have fame and has paid them money. And here's another thing. They write contracts when they get in to the UFC. Dana builds them up. If they do well in the UFC, they become a certain amount of famous, and they get Instagram followers, Twitter followers, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, it's like they get a little too big for their britches. They start expecting just to get paid more. But you have a contract. You have to fulfill your contract and then renegotiate based on your value. Don't try to get $20 million when you're worth $250,000. You know what I mean? So it's just a weird thing. And us as the fans, if we don't know business, for fans that don't know business, they're like, that's not right. Dana sucks. He's not fair. He's not paying the fighters right. He's got the other organizations like Triller and stuff saying that stuff. Jake Paul says that, pay your fighters, blah, 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 blah. But he does pay his fighters, and he has contracts with them. And just because he grows them and their fame and starts investing his own company money into building them up, doesn't give them the right to demand more money when they have a contract. They can do it when their contract's up, like I said. And then, like Dana says, you can fight or not fight. And if your contract's up and we can't make a deal, then you just go your way and we go our way, and you do whatever you want and we continue business the way we do it in the UFC. So anyway, just watching this interview made me realize this is something that should be talked about and put out into the community. So missed you guys over the last 3 days when I didn't post videos. Again, I apologize for that. I try to do a video every day. Sometimes I do 2 videos a day. But if you like the content, subscribe, give me some likes, comment down below.
And ring the freaking bell.
Talk to you guys next time.